Bell rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model daily briefing for Tuesday the 15th of the 6th, 2021. Time is 0440 GMT. Asian session coming to a close, European session firing up, and our lunchtime North American session. Right, Monday the 14th, yesterday, we had a negative unopposed driver in the yen at minus 167, no backdoor flows. The opposing positive flows mainly going into the pound at plus 76, into the euro at plus 68, and the dollar was the positive rock at plus 23, activity plus or minus 167. Intra-week then, this is from the Monday open to about 15 minutes ago. Again, we've got a negative unopposed driver in the yen at minus 185, no backdoor flows. The opposing positive flows mainly going into the euro at plus 88, into the pound at plus 72, and the dollar is the positive rock at plus 25, activity plus or minus 185. Finally then, intraday, this is the Asian session to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a positive opposed driver in the euro, plus 24, front and backdoor flows mainly coming out of the yen at minus 14, out the pound at minus 12, and the dollar is the positive rock at plus 2, activity plus or minus 26. What's been knocking it about, or going to knock it about? Well, today's very busy. We've got a GBP claimant and unemployment count, tier 1, German CPI, Bank of England Bailey speech, US retail sales, and then tomorrow we've got China retail sales, GBP CPI, ECB speech, CAD CPI, and the Fed minutes and rate decision. And late on, we've got the New Zealand GDP. And Thursday, the 17th, we've got the AUD RBA, Reserve Bank of Australia speech, and the AUD employment change data. So very busy and going to get quite lively shortly. Right, so let's have a look at the flows then. Our trades are about 4,500 points profit at the moment. They haven't really moved much recently. We've been about, I said we've had a peak of minus 6,000, plus 6,500. So really we're about the 2/3 mark, and it hasn't really changed radically for quite some time now. So euro, although that's likely to change. The euro is strong across the board at the moment in the Asian session. The yen is weak except against the AUD, which is weaker. The pound is weak except against the yen, the AUD and the NZD. The Swiss is strong except against the euro. The CAD is strong except against the Swiss, the dollar and the euro. The AUD is weak across the board. The NZD is weak except against the AUD and the yen, and the dollar is strong except against the CAD, the Swiss and the euro. So what have we got? We've got euro strength across the board in the Asian session, and we've got AUD weakness across the board, and take your pick in the middle. The AUD, we had this minutes from the Reserve Bank of Australia suggesting that inflationary wage inflation was being negated by firms getting around it by offering incentives. I suppose examples might be company cars and things like that. Anyway, so that's it seems to me any excuse to keep the AUD down at the moment. Anyway, so let's have a look at the asset classes. So we've got the dollar index, Right, so let's have a look at those. So US dollar index. Basically, we're looking at it's 90.46. It's bounced a little bit. It's still quite low. It's off the floors though. Gold won't really like that strength in the dollar, and it's 0.33 from the high. Oil on the other hand has had a very big push up. It's just come off very slightly, and oil is plus 0.36 from the high. In other words, it's 0.36 from the resistance high. Right, Wall Street. Basically, it's tracked sideways and it's slightly dipping now. It's 0.22 from the high. S&P, you're looking at that sort of situation. It's broken. It's plus 0.1 from the high. It's actually staying above the high, and the tech is finally above the high and is plus 0.05 from the resistance top. US 10-year. Well, what have we got there? We've got this situation where 0.33 from the high. Basically, the US 10-year, we had this whipsawing about a week and a half ago. Then the price shot up, so yields came off. Then the price yesterday of the bonds has come down, yields have come up, and we just had a slight turn up today. But generally, if you look at the bund as well, the bund is looking like 0.3 from the high. So we've got this closing of the yield gap effectively. The US 10-year was the price was scooting ahead of the bund in the short term, and therefore yields were very soft. And now they've come back a little bit, and so you'd have to think that the euro. We suggested the euro dolly was downward pressure yesterday. It didn't happen. It went up slightly. Didn't move much, but it did go up. So that was interesting. But there still should be this downward pressure as we run into the Fed on the euro dollar. Anyway, copper. Basically, it's pretty soft, 0.4 from the floor, and US steel soft again, 0.32 from the high. So copper's extra soft, and US steel is relatively soft. Right, so just get rid of that and do the final analysis then. So obviously today we've got a lot of data noise coming out. There's going to be positioning for the Fed tomorrow. So it's going to be very noise driven. We don't really trade short term, so whilst we suggested the euro dollar might come off yesterday, and it still might, we're actually long euro dollar. So our trades are so we're short USD dollar against the euro, the pound, and the AUD, and we're short NZD against euro, pound, CAD, and AUD. So AUD, as we say, is in play. The dollar's in play with the Fed. The CAD's got oil screaming away. The pound has got this. We just had this extension to the lockdown, and so you can see that it's all sort of in the air. But ultimately, medium to long term, we're long the pound, long the euro against the dollar, and AUD, the AUD NZD we're still going to be long that regardless. And if it goes down significantly, we'll be scaling up on the long side. So that gives you an idea of where we are. So I hope that was useful. See you again tomorrow for the daily briefing. Thank you very much.